Hello. Yes, I'm gonna have two videos today because I was in the middle of editing a video that should be actually pretty much either just uploaded or going to be uploaded before this one. Anyway, I thought I would go ahead and get on here and talk about something I'm super excited about. And I kid you not, this has been something I've kept up with. I have it on my wish list, and finally we have it where it's pre-orderable. It's a game I've long awaited. If you do not know about it, it's called Dragon's Dogma 2. Now, I'm not trying to overhype this like I did Naruto and all these other games that I've pretty much been wrong. Now, like Suicide Squad, don't know what that's going to be like. I have a lot of hope for it. Doesn't mean I'm going to say it's going to be a good game. I just hope it is. But I think this one should go without saying it will be a good game. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Dragon's Dogma 2 is almost here. We have 5 months until it comes out. The pre-orders finally have dropped on PlayStation. I finally got to see the trailer, and I'm super, super excited. The first one, if you do not know, was a hidden gem. It was kind of a cult classic in a sense, where it just didn't sell well at first. Then it picked up steam, and now we finally are getting a sequel. So, just to hurry it along, I don't want to spend too much time on this video. I had to re-record some of this, or pretty much the whole thing, because I rambled way too long, and I completely got sidetracked. So I'm going to try to touch the beats that I want correctly and not overdo it. So here's the trailer.
At last! The bell has tolled on the age of the console. The return of the Sovereign.
Welcome, Arisen. We pawns have long awaited your arrival.
Learn aught you can of this world you must protect.
We ask that all be spared the horrors of the fell dragon.
From this moment forth, thou art arisen. Charge and all.
Here's my chance.
If you're discovered, yours won't be the only head that rolls. What is your purpose here?
When 'twas all but certain that her son would take his father's place, word reached the castle that the Arisen had been found.
Pitiable arisen. Why dost thou fight?
Arisen.
You need only believe in your own destiny, Arisen.
Show me the path thou wouldst walk.
If ye intend to do what I could not, and fell the dragon true, I would gladly pass all the wisdom I possess into your hands.
So I don't know if you notice, and you haven't played it. If you have, we're about to get our second one. But if you haven't played it, I'm going to let you know. The exciting part about this is going to be in the RE5 engine, which Resident Evil, beautiful games. Not going to deny it. I cannot lie and say they don't look good. I don't like Resident Evil, but their games are beautiful. They are really well done. The designers, they should get a raise. They're doing great. Now, here's the kicker. It looks like it's the same story. 100% looks like it's the exact same story, except for the king may have a different place. Everything looks pretty much the same. They still have at least more than one Arisen, so there's still that. And if you don't know, these aren't, spoilers. This is a legit thing. So anyway, it looks like it's going to keep up with the same story beats. I don't know if it's like not a sequel. If you didn't play the first one, this isn't really spoilery, but it does have a lot to do with like reincarnation, essentially time travel. um, reliving your life over and over. It's a real odd concept that I'm pretty sure is just a game mechanic, and they don't explore too much into it except for one thing is that essentially the story itself is considered one that's repeated all the time, and that's the whole point of the game. Is that the people that get their heart taken from dragons pretty much repeats itself over and over, and it just shows that people are super assholey. So here's the thing. It looks like you have two Arisens again, which was the basis of the first one. You had an Arisen, finds an Arisen, and they find out there's two of them. One that's been Nosferatu, and he's super fucking old, been around for like 1,000 years, and then you yourself have been around for recent. And that's the whole thing. He wants you to do better than he did. So that's the beginning of the game. Now this one, I don't know where it's going to go, but it has a new race, those Khajiit looking people. And here's the kicker: it has a lot of like Dungeons and Dragons like creatures, and I think it's really cool, real Greek inspired ones. It's going to be really good. I think the graphics look great, and another thing was the vocations. It had this really big inspired like different classes and subclasses. They were really well made. So the good news about this is something that really has got me excited. Is I'm a return to the pawn system. Now, if you don't know what the pawn system is, here's a small breakdown just to let you know so we're all on the same page. Because when I say I'm not trying, it's not so much, I'm trying to sell this game to people. And there's a reason. The first one was beautiful, really well done. And I don't think it got enough at the time of release. I didn't know about it at the time. Of course, I wasn't back into gaming yet. I was still kind of couch surfing and just kind of chilling around everywhere. But the system that they have in place, the pawn system, essentially gave power to the people, to the players. And so let me explain. Basically, they wanted it to where you could, talk amongst players and help each other's pawns. The pawns would, they learn. They would have, I don't know how the checklist works, but essentially you have enemies, you have weaknesses of the enemies, you have story missions, side missions, all these different things that would calculate essentially how the pawn would talk to you or interact. Then you could change the pawns, like their personality type. So they would either be more aggressive, a reserve, talk a lot, talk a little, a whole bunch of things that would help out with your missions. So if you say you played the game from point A to point end, okay, I say beginning to end, you've done everything. Your pawn will have a level. 1 to 3, 1 to 5. I can't remember what the star system was. But anyway, I think it's 3 stars. One star. No stars means they don't know anything. 1 star means they know a little, and then 3 stars means they know it. So essentially, say you do in the middle of the game, you're doing a mission and you got to collect things. Well, if they've done the mission and they're well versed in it, they're going to know what to do, and they can coach you a lot better. That's where the pawn system comes in. If you were to say you and 3 friends are playing the game and y'all say start here together. Now you can't play cross, with each other, but you can use each other's pawns. Now this one, when you would go rest at an inn, it would it would send the data out to your pawn. It would update your pawn for the internet or for the online use. So basically, and also if somebody else used your pawn, it got more intelligence. It got more lore. It got more, experience. That's what I'm trying to get. It got more experience, and when it comes back, it would level up its experience and give it to you. So if somebody, say, used it till the end of the game, and you haven't reached the end of the game, well, now your pawn knows more about the end of the game. That's where this multiverse, time travel-esque type thing goes. It's in a temporal thing, and I don't have the concept to understand it because I didn't care. It was just so cool. So that's basically how the game works. You get these pawns, and you can get more pawns, less pawns, depends on how you want to play the game. And essentially, you and this group of misfit pawns are just out exploring the world, taking on, beast contracts to kill beasts, saving the world, fighting dragons, which is really cool. That's another concept, is dragon forging your armor. Now, originally it was just dragon forge, but then they got level 3s and stuff like that. That's not the point. Dragon, you could have a small drop rate of dragon forging anything you had on you. If it was equipped or being used, it could be dragon forged by fighting any dragon or drake, anything small. A big dragon had a higher rate, while a open world dragon that you just fought on the side of just sitting there would have a low chance. I think the final boss is like pretty much guaranteed. If you fight him, all your stuff gets Dragon Forged, everything you were wearing. And it increases power, increases the, everything on it. All the stats get increased. So this game's really good. It's really detailed. And that's just the base of it. There's a whole set of videos that can explain armors, weapons, builds. This is just me being base level and telling you it's awe-inspiring and it's really cool. And I think if you have played it, here's the other problem. The only problem that I see people talking about is that the voice acting is garbage. Yeah, it is. Sorry. The first one was bad. It's super overdramatic, like old English. If anybody remembers, halfway through a part of the map and you just hear, "Oh, there's goblins afoot. Harpies. Harpies are risen." That's all you're going to hear for a while, which, like I said, I believe you can cut that back. But still, and that's the other thing. If you have certain vocations, they'll react differently. So some can actually attack them better than others. Some will try to attract them and hold them. The more knowledge they have on certain fights, certain creatures, certain things you fight, the more you fight them, the better versed they're going to be in it, the more experience they have, and the lot easier it is to fight. I've played it hundreds of hours since PS3. I was horrible on PS3 because I didn't read everything. Once I redid it, replayed on 4, I started getting into it better and started understanding the game. The game did not hold your hand on a lot of missions. You had to read the missions. You had to know what to do. You had to do really weird stuff. You had to bait things. This is this is pre-Witcher 3, where you could bait and fight monsters. You would bait, I think it was story-based, though, unfortunately, but you could bait to fight monsters, to bring, like, griffins out and stuff like that. It's really cool, and you could still bait things. There was even a nice little nod. This is really weird, but there's a creature that, on contact, if he sees a woman character, he will attack. He just goes on the offensive. If you don't have one, he'll be a lot more docile for at least a little bit. And that was just weird. But these were little quirks inside these creatures that just made sense in the world. But sorry, I'm trying not to ramble on very long. This video may have went on too long already. I'm super excited, and it comes out in March, and I just wanted to share that with everybody and let you know, please be on the lookout for this game. This game is coming, and I don't think it got enough praise the first time, so I think this one needs to get it so we can get more out of it. I think this is a good franchise. I say franchise. This is a good game. It's a good series that could be brought more and more out to light, and we can get more in it. I think it needs to be explored more. So yeah, if you haven't pre-ordered it, get ready. If you haven't, buy the old one. It is enjoyable. You would definitely get hundreds of hours of fun. That's all I got to say. I've rambled on long enough. I've probably taken enough of your time. I apologize. So yeah, y'all have a good one.